How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Jimmy, right here. We're making it work. We're gonna spend a day in the shop. Got a beautiful sunrise. 80s all week this week for weather. But most importantly, we're here to learn a thing or two and have fun, get some cars back on the road. Maybe get a little bit of a paycheck, take care of a family, pay our own health insurance bills. My wife actually finding some much better deals on insurance, so I'm not sure what I can do about that. I'm not sure if you have to go the whole year after you start your insurance plan for the year, how that works. You might have to find a new job to cancel it. Who knows? We'll work that out though. Oh, by the way, this is a friend of Joe's. Just bought this Mercedes used with 100,000 miles on it, and he hasn't had it a week, and a check engine light came on. It's got a misfire. It needs an engine. It's got a turbo and an engine problem. That's probably why it was sold. But I think I might have mentioned this once or twice. If you're gonna buy a car, get it checked out before you buy it, not after. Apparently someone had been clearing the codes when he came to drive it and pick it up. So he didn't really feel the misfire until it got really hot. In any event, the cylinder's losing compression and the low turbo boost codes. But more importantly, it's about what we can do for you guys in this video today. Let's put some clips in so you'll have an idea what's going to happen in today's video. Oil change. 2019 Ford Ranger. And can you change my oil? Hot rod. Alright, just kidding, it's oil change. Dodge Ram, almost 2018. So now you got a pretty good idea what's going on today. I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna finish getting the shop open up so we can get started. Hopefully what you saw was a lot of clips of really interesting and productive repairs. I don't know, we'll see. Stay tuned. Another broken Toyota. Just kidding, oil change. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick oil change and inspection. We're gonna get 4.6 quarts of 020 synthetic dinosaur blood in it. I already reset the oil change reminder. On these, all you do is you find your display, trip A, turn the key off, hold the display button. I've already done it. Turn the key on while you're holding the display button. It'll have 5 dots, then it'll go to 4, 3, and it'll blink. And it'll go to 1, then it'll show zeros. Oil change reminder is set at that point. We've already done that part. We're gonna give it a 4. It's in a black pouch, but I thought he dropped it off. I thought he's waiting for it. I mean, the red pouches are waiters. Maybe he did drop it off. I didn't see anyone follow him in, but he is a regular customer. So let's go ahead and I'm just gonna do a quick oil change. I'm sorry, it won't be too interesting. We'll come back when we're putting oil in it, or if I find something interesting to show you. Look at that. The trees go berserk when it gets a little warm again out here. I don't know if you can see it. It looks like dirt. That's all pollen. All pollen. So if you got allergies like I do, you gotta be really careful. You take a Claritin first thing in the morning. 2019 Ford Ranger. 2019. All right. Poor thing. Not sure what's going on here, but you know, everyone's rowing their own boat, doing their own thing. You know, people are busy. Just a quick oil change. Another not exciting ticket. But they're working on the Rav4. He needs rear brakes, rear wiper. Some of his fluids have been neglected. We'll see if he wants to do something on the Rav4. So we might get something interesting today. I am going to put a window down just because when I went out to it, it was locked. And I don't know if it did it automatically or not. So just in case. This is the first one of these Rangers I've worked on. Should be interesting. We'll take a peek under the hood, see what it looks like. Do a very uninteresting oil change after that. Whatever you do, don't touch all this stuff and then rub your eyes. You will have a bad day if you're like me. 4-cylinder turbo or something, I guess? What do you think? I'm gonna check the filter, see what kind of shape it's in. It's pretty cool how this plastic nipple on the overflow tank is right next to the air filter box. I should say no one at the quick lube plate. Look at that. Does Ford want you to break that off, I suppose? Well, what I'm going to try to do is see if I can push it backwards and lift the box up. And it looks fairly new. You gotta look at the underside really to see, but I got a feeling it's pretty new. Oh, that's boring. Alright. But we got it off without breaking anything. It really sucks if someone comes in for an oil change and you tell them to order you a coolant tank. So, Bill, Bob, you guys need a hug. You know, why wouldn't you want this to come out this way and have this hose curve or something, or I don't know. Or at least have the coolant tank come over just a little more so this hose is here, because this hood shock stays above all that. It's not going to hit it. I am going to top off with washer fluid and successful air filter check. I'm sorry. Alright, we got our oil prep. We got our new filter. It takes a 1348. Pretty common spin-on filter. I'm going to go ahead and knock this out. We come back. We'll be finishing it up. Oh, did I say love rating of 2? I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier. This thing does have 130,000 miles on it, but it's only 4 years old. My goodness. Ooh, this thing needs some tars. Trying to find the filter. I'm looking around here and around the oil pan where you would expect it might be, but then I realized, wait a second, it's up there. I guess you get it through the wheel well or something. I certainly can't get it when it's wrapped with the wiring harness and the motor mount and stuff in the way. Oh, Ford. That's good stuff. Alright. Alright, I've got the lift at the custom Ford oil filter access height, and I got my newly repaired oil drain precariously placed in just the right place. It's preposterous to ponder the amount of productivity this provides, which is next to none. I might need to get a different tool, but I'm going to try my... I was told these are Ford Ranger oil filter pliers, so I'm going to try them. I don't know if they really are or not, but I know it was done October of 24. So we're getting somewhere. Get it loose, and I can reach in there by hand and get it the rest of the way. Oh, jeez Louise. Alright, man. Really strong kid put this on, I'm guessing. Wasn't me. I don't have that kind of hand strength anymore. I could get a cup, but where's the sense of adventure in that? We're gonna make this like Hoovie's Garage, where we're taking care of one disaster after another. Man, that's a full turn. I've turned this thing now. Come on, man. What's to get to and think maybe I shouldn't tighten it a lot? What could go wrong? The right front's the worst. This one's starting to get wear on the edge, and the backs are kind of close too, and they're all different treads. So, I mean, none of them are really an emergency. The right front's the closest one. But they're close. Yeah, he's got more aggressive tires in the back, and they're close to the inspection bars in the middle. But they're not shot yet.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Again, I oiled the gasket myself. That's just how I roll, so that it's easier to get off next time. I'm going to turn it, let it touch. Another half to 3/4 of a turn by hand. A little bit of brake clean in there, and it's like a new car. Uh-oh. That's what I'm talking about. Got to clean up Bill and Bob's creation. A couple mad scientists. They got a great sense of humor, those guys. They had to be giggling when they came up with this. They were like, Good luck, mechanics. Oh, that was done at Ford. It was due 5,000 miles ago, roughly. Almost 6,000 miles ago. Okay. 536.2 quarts, it says. Alright, let's button this up. What?
Should be KA31. KA31.
Dinosaur blood going in 6.2 quarts. And that little tiny hole in the valve cover, they call it an oil fill cap. Look how cute it is. It's a cute little guy. Really hard to get out. I had to use pliers to get it out. FYI, my grip's not what it used to be, but even with a good grip, it was tight. You're trying to sell them tires. I shouldn't have mentioned it. I should have said tires are great. I don't roll that way though. Needs tires, it needs tires. We'll have to do some tires, that's all. Just won't be exciting to film. I might not even film it if I do. I'll just go, tires are on. I need some exciting content. I gotta buy like a Lamborghini that doesn't run, or need some really good distracting videos jumping back and forth to different scenes every 3 seconds for those of you with ADHD. It seems to be a winning recipe. I'm just not gonna do it. I just think it's funny. I do have to improve my videos though. They need work. I suck. I Spy brake parts. Customer wants to do, right now we have a special free tire rotation with an oil change or a brake job, so we're going to rotate the tires and we're going to do the rear brakes, and I think a wiper blade's on the way too. We're going to do a rear wiper blade. Heck yeah. Hang on to your seatbelts, or no, is it? Oh, buckle your seatbelts, that's it. Now, being an older guy, I've got plans to save effort. So some of you guys, it might be obvious, maybe some it won't, so I'm going to say, since I know I'm doing rear brakes, my plan is to take the front tires off, set them in the back. I'll put the back tires on the front right off the bat. Then we'll do the rear brakes. Then when we're done, we'll torque them all at the same time. Back from whence you came. I told them the tires are getting a little low and they're starting to dry rot, and I said, okay, he wants a rotation. Someone at some point told me he needed front and rear brakes, but he really, I'm only seeing rear myself. They're about 3 millimeters or so. I believe we got 14 action, we got 17 action. Oh yeah. Mid right angle torque for the win. FTW. Look at that. Gotta go get some new car parts over here before we get too cray. I hate when I say that. We gotta get some new parts over here before we get too crazy. Oh, look at that. Aha! If you don't give up, eventually it's gonna work. It's all about determination. Hey man, hey. So rude. Now you don't have to, but I like to line the holes up where they were for some reason. Where there's like little holes left on the hub for them. Makes me feel better. I would never say you have to do that, but I would say it makes me feel better. Rubber plug, don't forget that. If I see you not putting that in, I will fire you. Now, where did I put those rascally brake pads? Oh, there they are. We were just having a discussion this morning about being, I said, are we still in Napa store? We sell a lot of CarQuest stuff. I said, oh yeah, we're in Napa store. CarQuest. Okay. And these pads are going to go in here like this. So I want these anti-rattle clips on the bottom, pushing them up. And they're going to sit in there like that. You also have to be careful because this one comes with 8 shims. That means there's two different styles. One has a tighter gap than the other one. I guess one's for like a heavier duty application or something, and the difference is that much, about 2 to 3 millimeters. You really got to pay attention. If you have the wider rotor and use the narrow one, it'll probably make noises, and if you have the wider one, it's probably not going to fit on this bracket correctly, or if you're supposed to use a narrow one. I just sort all these out ahead of time, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Get rid of the narrow ones. Perfect, I got 4 wide ones. Get in there, will you? Watch your toes. Now, hardware's a little sloppy, but it's all correct. Not perfect. That's how I would define it. Good enough that we can make it work, though. I think. With a little bit of fumbling. A little bit of lubrication on here. Couple of 14s. We're heading on to the other side. These are a little tighter. What the heck is that? Uh-oh. Jimmy's next ticket. That'll turn things around. If this Toyota Corolla don't turn things around, nothing will. Customer states it runs very poorly, but there's no check engine light. And can you change my oil? That might be what she's talking about. You can feel it in the floor and the pedals. And when the idle drops to about 625 or so, you can feel it just a little bit. It feels like an old Toyota Corolla with 161,677 miles. Love rating 4, I suppose. I'll put the scanner on it for fun. I know it's got a TPMS code. That light was blinking. I just went and took it for a drive. It runs great. I just feel a little, you know, tired old car stuff. So what I generally do is I go out and I buy a new one so I don't have to feel tired old car stuff. Not everybody wants to or can do that, I suppose. If you work 7 days a week, anything's possible. See what's going on with that. The oil change is due at $164.79. Someone put a date of January 29th, 164,000. So she's gone 1,500 miles since the last oil change, but they put a date of 90 days or something like that. 180 days they like to put. I always put 365. So the people who don't drive a lot don't come in for an oil change way too soon. But like a lot of things, you might know, it's not up to me. All right, it's not going to have any codes. I'd be really surprised if it does. But we're going to take a look anyway. Might as well stretch this 689 BT's legs out. Like most of the scan tools I've messed with, they're all really pretty good. They have strengths and weaknesses, and I'm going to make a video about that eventually. I appreciate your patience on that, but we're going to do it. Let's get these two talking. We'll see if there's any codes, and I'll show you if there are. Matter of fact, I'll show you if there aren't. Alright, much to my chagrin, TPMS codes, no other codes. I kind of thought that's what would happen. I'll send them a report so that we have it on files. Let them know the motor mounts feel a little sketch. We're going to do an oil change and I'll take a look around. I'll see if I can visibly spot a motor mount that's compressing. The rubber tends to settle and then it gets hard and brittle and the engine kind of sits like feels like it's sitting on the frame. So this one's really not that bad yet, but she's probably a little sensitive to it. So we'll come back. We'll do an oil change and take a look at that. The report has been shared. I'm going to end my diagnostic test session. Oh, it gives you that quaint little don't forget your dongle. If you forget your dongle, you're probably not going to have a good day. And turn the key off. Since I'm the Castrol kid and the oil drain's almost full, I might as well empty it for the guys. It was like right up here when I started it, so it had room for a few more oil changes, but might as well get it done right now. It'll take a minute. We'll just wait. Alright, just kidding. It's hot rod stuff. City hears a funny noise when he starts it up. Oh, got the cool racing shifter, got racing gauges, racing radio, racing tack. It's a cute little tack. I'm not sure what's the dealio with that. Is that a neutral or drive or park or what's the... Let's see what it sounds like. Sounds like a broken flywheel. Yep, let's see if I can nurse it in the shop and see underneath. Sounds like the flywheel's loose. Now the brakes are on the floor. Yeah, it sounds like a loose flywheel or something. Could be our bolts coming out of the converter. We're gonna have a look. We're gonna have a look. It's hot rod stuff. Look at that, man. A little Bondo, a little Rust-Oleum. What are you worried about? It's perfect. What's your problem? Holy moly, look at those port headers. I'll be giving up about 60 horsepower according to the internet. If headers even add that in the first place. I'd have got the shorty headers that dump out the back myself. And that way it clears everything a little better. Hear that? We gotta go rack and pinion, man. We already put a LS in it. Why not add a rack and pinion steering? Come on. It's got manual brakes and feels like they're either out of adjustment, have to be bled, or the slides are sticking or something. Because that pedal's on the floor. Let's see if the bolts are falling out of the converter. That's what we suspect. It's interesting. Got a crankcase baffle can with no turbos or superchargers though. Truck manifold, that's the best one to get. They actually do make good torque, those manifolds. Let's lift it up. Really not a bad car. It's got some rust that was patched up poorly, but that doesn't make it a bad car. It could be, everything could be fixed. Just takes money and patience and effort. Setting that lift and I noticed something. That's the sketchy part. I don't know if you can see that on picture, but this is all Bondo. Like someone put a section of a quarter and then just caked it up with Bondo. I don't want to break it off. That's going to need quarter panels, or at least one. I don't want to piss on anyone's parade, but I lifted it up and noticed something funny or strange. However you want to look at it. We'll get a light and put it right here. Let's lift it up. See the engine move? It's probably not supposed to do that. Oh, this poor car. Someone's been working on it. I see handprints all down here like someone just worked on it and couldn't figure out what that noise was. turbo tree fitty. Me personally, I'd have put a 700 R4 or a 4L60 or something in there with a controller. Look at that. I'm guessing someone lost a drive shaft at some point and they just put a new drive shaft in it and sent it on eBay or Meekum or something. Look at that. Someone just put a Turbo 350 in it, and oh, that's the noise. So we gotta tighten some bolts. Whoever took the 700 R4 out and put a 350 turbo, or T350 they call them, whoever did that didn't tighten the bolts up. So, oh, look at that. That looks like something Ivan from Pine Hollow would do to avoid buying a part. Just kidding, Ivan. Just a joke. Loose converter, that's like a 28 to 3200, maybe 3500 stall. Let's tighten these bolts, stop horsing around. Man, this poor car. Oh my goodness gracious. Should I stop looking at some point? It needs some love, let's just put it that way. It's got potential, but it basically needs to be gone through from bumper to bumper. Let's tighten the converter and then we'll run it a little bit, make sure it's quiet. It's also got a pretty good transmission leak from the kick down cable or something, or one of those hose contraptions they've made. Broke it. I need a new wrench. Should have used Snap-on. Yeah, one more to go. Just a little Loctite action, although these generally they're not going to loosen if they're tightened, so they just would never tighten, I guess. And when you hear that rattling noise, you panic and you bring it to Jimmy and he fixes it. Now when this other drive shaft popped, I didn't notice too, it hit the floors, and that's probably where that damage came from. I'm looking around, the more I look, the worse it gets. I gotta stop looking. Then I went over and smacked the traction bar for fun. No worries, that just holds the rear end in. So I'll give you a little rundown of what probably happened with this car. This wasn't done properly. Someone wanted some cool traction bars and put this on there and didn't really have too much of a grasp what they were doing. They didn't tighten the bolts enough. These things get pretty crazy tight, like 130 foot-pounds or like head bolts. I mean, they get pretty crazy tight. But when they don't tighten them enough, or they have like rubber in place where it shouldn't be, and it should be mounted solid or have something more rigid, it allows everything to move, right? So if this rear end moves or the rear end turns on the leaf springs, it changes the pinion angle, puts the U-joints in a bind. If you're going fast enough, the drive shaft will explode. So just a heads up for anybody wondering, this car is going to need some real serious love. And it's not going to be me, but someone should give it some love, because I don't think you can afford for me to do it. This thing is in about the shape my truck was when I got it, although the paint's a lot shinier. But other than that, and this motor seems to run good too, but we'll see. We'll make a list. Broken Honda. It's a tragedy. Alright, just kidding, it's an oil change. The Castrol kid strikes again. 94,000 miles. 2020 Honda Fit. 25,000 miles a year they're driving about, give or take, maybe 20,000. Clean car. I'm gonna give them a 7. And I'm gonna change the oil real quick. I don't want to hear another word about it. They're here early, is that? Oh, no odometer. Man, he's slipping. He didn't usually write the mileage down. Let's see here. 94,652. 94, the 100 miles overdue. Gonna destroy this Honda engine. Just kidding. 100 miles with nothing. That Ford Ranger I did this morning, if you saw that earlier, it was 5,000 something miles overdue. All right. Castrol kid. Jimmy's doing the oil change. You know what? I got you, bro. I got you.
I know. This is so funny. You know my weak spot.
No, the tip of you right. Got the coupon for the free tire rotation. Ooh, the oil's hot. But the oil drain's a lot lighter after you empty it. I know that much. I think I got this set for Ford Ranger. So we might have to change it for Honda Fit, I'm not sure. Oh yeah. One model year. You do have to unbolt that under tray. It's about 6 screws and 2 push pins. It's kind of weird they don't give you an access hatch because the two of them are really close together. It takes a 27,356 MP. I'm not sure what the MP stands for. Manly purse? I don't know. Mainly pertinent? What does MP stand for? That's in, that's in. A little bit of brake clean action. We'll put that cover back up. Don't pour it too fast. It doesn't go in the valve cover as fast as the funnel.
I have a feeling I know whose it is, but is anyone missing a 15mm snap-on wrench?
I'll take it. I don't know whose it is. Wasn't expected to be full. It says 3.5 quarts. I didn't think that was going to do it, but it's a little tiny engine. Who says oil changes don't pay off? Boy. I don't want to brag, Bill. I'll be paying those extra medical insurance expenses in no time. Keep this up.
Keep that up, man.
If I can sell 800 pairs of wiper blades a week, I'll be on fire.
You can borrow money from me to pay that bill. Oh, shit. Hell yeah.
One of those. One of those.
Pay the money.
Unless Jose already updated you.
Alright,
I
nope.
already ordered the upper cable for the van.
Alright,
And then the Mustang, he approved the fuse box.
Okay.
And it'll be arriving in on Monday.
alright.
I was able to get a pretty decent one, so I'm happy about that with some warranty.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, sir. I know you guys are hungry for some cabin air filter content. I'm trying not to dump all this out if I can. Come here. These are pretty easy. Get this out of the bag. I tried not to let it all fall out of there, but that's alright. I'll go right back in where it came from. No big deal. It'll be okay. Joe put the engine in that Ranger. Apparently there's 2 different versions of that 4-liter. There's an 8-bolt flywheel flange and a 6-bolt flywheel flange. So they got him the opposite one from what it has. So now they had to get him a... it actually doesn't go this way. It goes this way. Airflow down, blower motor pulls. because this is the recycled door right here. So it's got to pull it in from there, right? Oh, look at that thing. At least this says up on it, so I would know which way it faces. That's cool. This fell out and it's all went to hell in a handbasket, but that's all right. We're gonna get it. I got my glass cleaner. Trying to remember to order this all went in there. Got my sexy Kissimmee sunglass case. Oh, we got some snacks. What do you need, man? I got you. We got garage door pens. I shouldn't be looking through that stuff, you know? I just did it because I think it's funny. I apologize. Someone's gonna be curled up in a ball in the corner crying. I don't want that to happen. Band-aids. What do you need? I got you. I think we're gonna do a rear wiper too. I reminded her there was 3 on this car, and we're upselling like mad on this thing. Whoa! Prepare to be amazed. The 2017, I think, Dodge Ram, almost 2018, 196,219 miles, and it's still running, but not real good. We'll start it up. Hear that noise? Making a racket. Check engine lights on. Love rating of 4. Commercial vehicle. I'm gonna be a little more generous than I want to. That's how I roll. Look, it's got shark fins and everything. That's cool. Customer request fan clutch. Customer brought the part too. I'm gonna try to put that on tonight and get it done. Got a new water pump on it. I wonder why they didn't do the fan clutch when they did that. Anywho, I think this fan shroud splits in half. 13, and I think there's a seam there. I think it comes in half. Should be able to lift it out and do the fan clutch. Shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah, it's got a brand new water pump on it. All right, none of my business. Customer wants a fan clutch, customer gets a fan clutch. Get to work. I'm gonna try to pull that back with some bungees. If I can get a bungee to reach, and we'll pop the 13s out of there. I also have to look it up. I'm not sure if this is reverse thread. Generally, the way the belt goes determines the way the threads on the clutch go. And this has a grooved water pump pulley, so that means it turns in normal direction. It's probably going to be reverse thread, I think. Anyway, let's get this hose held back. Go like this. Go like this. That's not going to be quite enough. I was a little optimistic, I guess. Let's do that. Oh yeah. Alright, stay there. Now we're going to do a 13 millimeter. I'm going to have to get a shorter socket, I would think. Yep. Don't worry, I got so many tools, it's amazing. Chrome Moly 13 millimeter swivel from Blackhawk Proto. Yeah. All right. Thank you. One of those. One of those. These detach. There's some kind of magical latch in there or something. Maybe not. I thought there was. Someone's taking the bottom of the shroud off, and it's one piece. I thought I remembered. Okay, never mind. Disregard everything I've said for today. I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't realize that was attached too, man. Goodness gracious, what are you guys doing? Well, it pays an hour. To me, you know, being on a flat rate, if you're pretty proficient at what you're doing, if it pays an hour, it should be 45 minutes max to get it done. Might be able to do that still, I don't know. I'm sure gonna try. One of those. Don't worry about that, it's fine. tight that thing. Oh, they've been hammering and dollying on that thing for a while. Doing some metal fabrication work. It's kind of strange because someone just did a water pump. Shouldn't be frozen, right? Interesting. I'm gonna try with my adjustable wrench optimistically, and if it doesn't work, I have the hydraulic, or what do you call it, pneumatic fan clutch tool set. I'll get that out if I need it. Nope. Okay. We'll get out the pneumatic set and see what that does. And I think it's gonna go that way, so I'm gonna try. Just because the fan turns that way, that means turning that way with the threads will tighten it, and turning that way should loosen it the direction it spins, right? Usually, not always. A lot of them are always normal threads, regardless, but there you go. Figured one good tug I would know. Now I'm gonna drop this. Fan clutch doesn't look that old. Pays more than that oil change I just did with all the filters and hoses and belts and rotating the tires and everything. Pays less than this does. That is the nature of the business though, so we'll see what happens. For a second, it might not be right. It looks shaped different, but it fits. If it fits, you must have quit. Well, if it doesn't, that's something like that. I don't remember. Now we're going to go turn it like we're taking it off to put it on now. And you gotta be careful. Some of this plastic is short, so I try not to slide my hand up it when I spin it. One thing I don't like is deep cuts. Happens even being careful, but happens a lot less if you're careful at least. What we're shooting for, less trouble. That's all it needs. Now, this kit is made by like Lyle, I believe, for Mac tools. So you don't have to buy the Mac brand. It's a lot more expensive for the same thing. Same warranty and everything. Although, if you really like your Mac guy and he's good to you, let him make a few bucks and get it from him. Super handy. I don't take it out of the toolbox but about 5 times a year. But without it, I'd have struggled with that for half an hour just trying to get that loose. Alright, I got the overflow hose off the radiator so we don't bust it. The shroud was already busted. Now the bottom's got to go back in the slots and the top gets the bolts. I think we'll be good. There you go. That's easy. Took 30 minutes. I'll take it. Knocking them out like wildfire today. I'll go see if he wants an oil change. Interesting day today. I hope it was interesting for you. Sorry if it's a little disappointing the way it's been lately with the odd jobs and the oil changes. We have had, I gotta say, we have had a few interesting things this week. So Hope it's worth your while to torque the like button on your way out. Hope you enjoyed today's video. More than anything, I hope I see you in another video, because you're awesome.